Okay, welcome back, everybody. For those of you just joining us, we are playing a Dungeons and Dragons 5th Edition starter set campaign, The Lost Mind of Phandelver. Right close to the Phandelver, the town of Phandelver. Rhymes with Phandalin rhymes with mandolin, that's how I remember it.
Not usually.
Yeah, apparently I don't remember it well at all. I'm really bad with names. I should never be a DM. The masked man, having nearly been killed by goblins in a fit of rage, ran after the one that was running away and attempted to catch him. As he was running, he was not paying attention and stepped into a snare trap and is now hanging upside down 10 feet above the ground. Muffling shouted profanities because actually he's still under his mask, so you what are your other two doing?
I was gonna go towards the noises I heard.
Okay. Can you roll me? Are you inspecting anything in the trail or anything like that?
I didn't really. I was looking at it to see how we could get around it. That's about it.
Okay, roll me
How to get
survival.
through.
Roll me survival.
Okay. Do I have that? I do. We all have that.
Yeah.
Some of us suck at it.
Nice, nicely done. Okay, so as you're walking down this trail, you notice that at least 12 goblins recently have used this trail, and you notice some rather distinct markings on the ground.
12.
At least 12. He nailed that, actually. You notice some pretty distinct markings on the trail leading away from the horses. They appear to be made by somebody dragging two bodies.
Okay.
You know they were wearing silly hats.
And they were wearing clogs.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just look back at Parry and just say I'm gonna go look for masked dude.
Right. When you're done fooling around in the forest, I'd like to get moving again.
Well, I can't do everything, and I'll just walk on.
Neither can I.
Just start a
Oh
forest
wait,
fire.
yes I can. I choose not to.
Just start a forest fire.
Okay.
Yeah, burning hands on the trees.
Yeah.
So are you leisurely? Are you running, or what? How are you going down this trail?
Stealthily, because he's making a lot of fuss.
Okay, so you kind of stay in the thicker part of the trail off to the side, and you.
Okay.
Is that you move silently? The other one?
The first one was my survival.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you move and you come around a corner about 5 minutes after. As you get,
I don't see a move silent anymore. There's like stealth and
yeah, it's just stealth, eh?
acrobatics, maybe. I don't know.
No, that was in the old one. I think it's just
Dude,
stealth.
you just dropped
Stealth.
an A-bomb. It's just stealth, eh?
Yeah.
We're not Canadian. What?
No way. So you
No.
you head down and you hear the muffled sounds of somebody who's in distress and quite pissed off. And as you round the corner, you see the masked man hanging upside down, 10 feet above the ground, his axe on the ground below him. He's kind of he's grunting as he attempts to rock back and forth. He's got a pretty decent swing going.
I imagine you're sitting there watching him go back and forth.
Yeah, and as he gets to the one side, you see him kind of reaching out to try and grab the tree, which is clearly at least 10 feet away still, but...
I kind of just cross my arms and then watch for a moment. Just
So
to
he
see what
grunts.
he's doing.
He's getting slightly closer. It seems like in about, if he has the strength, in maybe about 20 minutes, he might actually be able to swing it hard enough.
Can I just cut the rope while
You
he's doing
can.
this?
So the
Okay.
rope's on his feet, and it goes up into the tree, and you see it come down, and it's tied to the base of a tree nearby.
I'll go over to the base and just go clunk.
Okay, so you swing and you snap the rope. So did you wait for a particular point in his swing?
Max distance.
Okay, so right when he's at like the apex of the swing is when you cut it?
Right before.
Just before, so he goes flying in that direction?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you roll me his dexterity saving throw?
I don't know what it is. Is it 3?
He is -1, d20 -1. Okay. So he's kind of taken a little bit by surprise as the rope snaps right in the apex, and he kind of manages to pull off some kind of, it wasn't graceful at all, somersault, and he lands in the bush upright. But he kind of disappears in the bush, but from what you could see, he was going to land on his feet.
Okay.
He managed to flip around just in time. Okay, so he comes out of the bush and he sees you standing. Do you make your presence known?
I think I'd wait to see what he does first. If he starts like flailing around like a madman, I'm definitely not going to make my presence known.
Well, he kind of like steps out back onto the trail, which is still pretty thick, but you see him kind of dust off his outfit, like he's a little upset that
You
he's
might
got.
think that he broke the rope free swinging if he didn't see you.
Yeah, and he's kind of peering around to see if he sees anything.
Was it still tied around his leg?
Before he stood up, he was able to take it off.
Okay.
Like once the weight's gone, it was like a noose, so it kind of just loosened. And he sees you. Right? Yeah.
Yep.
So he just looks at you and he muffles them. And immediately you see him, once he also runs over to his axe and covets a little bit and carefully places it back on his back. You almost think you saw him stroke it a little bit.
Looking like sort of like hiding it to the side, looking back at you.
You ready to go move those horses out of the way? I don't know. I never know what you're saying. Let's go, okay? Okay.
He points to the direction that the goblin ran.
Who cares?
Is there goblins there that they see?
No, they don't
I'd
see
look-
anybody. He's pointing to where like the one ran
Oh.
off.
Oh, like he got away.
Yeah.
Well, it looked like Gundren might be carried off into there. I guess we could look to help him out. I don't know what you're saying. Go get Parry. I'll watch the trees from here until you get Parry. Tell Parry Gundren's here.
Okay, so he and he heads off back the way he came.
I like how I sent the masked man to go get it.
Yeah.
So he walks back down the trail. Were you doing anything? Did you manage to get the keg open? How did you open the keg?
I'd imagine there'd have been something in the cart I could use to get it open.
True, there's 12 crowbars. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So how are you managing? So you've got this cask. Sorry, it's not a cask. It's not a keg. It's a cask. So I imagine that to be Probably almost keg size. No,
I don't know. I don't know how big a cask is.
we're gonna go with its keg size. So how do you manage to then drink out of it?
I would have
Yeah.
had some kind of a wine skin or something on me, or water
cask.
skin.
A cask is like a mini barrel.
So halfway between, or half the size of a keg.
No,
Or
about
half
the size of a
barrel?
keg.
Okay.
Half the size of a barrel, exactly the size of a keg.
Okay. It's the old time
It's
version
just
of a
another
keg.
word for keg. It's a fancy keg.
Yeah. It's a wooden keg. So you get this top off, and you've got your wine powder.
Would there not be like a cork or something that you could just pull out?
There is.
Yeah, I would just. No. Would it be on the? Where would it be located? Probably on the top or the side
Be
or
on
the
the
bottom.
top.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I would have pried it open then. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's a regular barrel. Think of a barrel, but about half the size, and then it's on the round top. It's a circle where you pry the cork out of.
Yeah.
Loud
The
chips.
Molotov. Yeah, those chips are loud. They were commenting about the crinkly chip bag. I'm muting the microphone now.
Don't you need to tell him what you're doing?
My mom's trolling me. Yeah,
Your mom's trolling you.
yeah, I know. Thanks, troll. Best mom ever. All right. Fuck it. I'm gonna push it over and pour it out into something. There's gotta be something. There's gotta be a cup or something. If we're bringing his provisions.
You can use your water skin.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll do that.
I'm just trying to picture you tipping a keg over and then controlling the flow somehow. Like, how does that work?
I'll just put the cork back in once I have enough.
Okay,
I know it's
you-
gonna be messy.
So the masked man comes around the corner and he sees this keg tipped over and you trying to catch some of it in your water skin. And there's beer flying everywhere, or spilling everywhere, and
Yep.
So once you get some in the sack, do you cork it back up then?
Yep.
Or do you start
Yep.
drinking? You cork it back
Cork
up?
it back up.
Okay, so you put the cork in and put it back up, and then you're drinking. So the masked
I'm
man
not
comes...
feeling very good right now, so I really don't care about the cork and everything. But yeah.
So the masked man comes around the corner and he points at the horse and
Yes, I know. Did you clear the path yet?
he points to the horses and he's like and he like makes the like 4 foot about the height of Rockseer was.
Mm-hmm.
And then he points down the trail.
I have a drink.
He walks up and he grabs the oxen and starts leading them off into the trail.
I sit back.
Are you sitting on the cart?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so a couple minutes later, Dane, you see and hear the auctions and the cart approaching, led by somebody with loud chips again.
Yeah. Sorry, that's my mom.
See it led by
Take the bag, please.
the masked man,
Okay.
and then he kind of just pulls it off to the side and kind of ties it to one of the trees.
I come out. I'm like, I'm gonna address Parry. I think they took our friend Gundren and Sildar into the forest. I can't quite make out what he's saying. He just keeps pointing at the forest.
Points to the pointy ears.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I had an incident with an arrow. I'm not doing very well in regards to battle currently.
Points to the hole in his chest armor.
Really?
Yes, but you are the muscle after all.
You can't do anything about this? Like, speed up the process?
Of what? Out of character. Healing is referring to?
Yeah, that's what
It
I'm
might
getting at.
you might want to take a short rest, a half an hour rest, I believe. And you
Yeah, that's
can
what I'm sort of
get health
implying, that
back,
I
yeah.
need a break. There's plenty of ale left.
Well, I guess we could set up camp here.
You know, given the circumstances, I don't think Gundren will mind.
That's
Well,
an agreeing nod.
people usually don't fare well when carried off into the forest by goblins.
All the more reason to drink his ale. He won't be any more dead if we find him later on than now.
He might be dead if he's not dead yet.
And did you see the horses? I'm sure he's dead.
Then why would they carry his body off?
To eat? For whatever reason.
But not the horses?
It's of little concern to me now.
Whatever.
You just
I'm far more curious at the tasks at which he was involved than himself. Yes, whatever. Maybe you could write it down in the dirt so we can read it if you can spell.
he scribbles something, but it's clear that he's illiterate.
That's what I thought. Yes, that's a stick, man. Very nice. And that looks like some kind of half moon thing.
You see him give you the finger.
I see the point. I can make out pointy ears though.
What's great about this, out of character, is that he's supposed to be a noble.
So
Rest time. I'm just
you're
resting.
up? Okay, so you're going to take a rest. So that means you may choose to expend one of your hit die and roll that many hit points back.
So how does that work? It means I'll have less total health, but I gain some health?
No, like think of you keep your normal like max health always. But think of your hit die as a resource you can spend to get health back once a day.
Oh, so I can do it once a day.
Yeah.
How many hit die do I have per day? Just one right now? Is that how that works?
You only have one because you have one level. You have one per
Oh,
level.
each level you have, you gain a hit die.
Yeah,
right,
they do
right,
two
right,
things.
right.
They serve two purposes in this game.
So at level 10, you could roll 10 hit die to regain that much health back?
Yep. And you don't have to do it all at
Nice.
once. So you could do some now, some later.
Okay, that's cool.
And it takes
Yeah.
a full rest to get part of your hit die recharged so you can do it again the next day.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll definitely do that.
So you roll a d6, I believe, for your hit die,
Okay.
plus your con, right? Let me double check.
You want my con modifier or my con?
Con modifier. That would be insane if it was your con.
0.
Okay, so just roll your d6.
Yeah. Oops. Yes!
Nice. So you get 6. That puts you back up, doesn't it?
Yep. I'm feeling a lot better after that rest. Might be the ale talking.
Okay, for future reference, you do add the Constitution modifier to it.
Cool.
Okay. So, You see Buddy rest. He's sitting resting too, and he's munching. Masked Man somehow he's managing to eat through the mask. Like you don't quite know how he's pulling that off.
I would have pulled the arrow out before, I guess, or I don't know if it went through or how that we were going to finagle that. By the way.
You can pull it out, like. Yeah. So you just...
Would it have killed me, or how would that have?
No, you don't take extra damage when you pull the arrow out.
Okay.
You manage to pull it out and stabilize yourself. Like it hits you pretty severely. Like you can pick where it hits you, but maybe it hits you in the arm and it didn't really.
Yeah.
So you managed to get it out, and turns out it wasn't as bad as you thought because you're back to full hit points.
Yeah.
It just.
It's magic. It's magic.
It's magic. Yeah. Okay,
By the power of magic healing.
So after you guys rest up, what would you like to do?
What was the name of the place we were going to again?
You were heading to the town of Phandelver to deliver the supplies to the shopkeep there. At the behest of Rockseer, who Dane now believes has been kidnapped by trolls. Goblins, sorry.
That's Gundren Rockseer, right?
No. Yes, Gundren, sorry. God, all these names. You should see the names.
Is Rockseer his last name?
Rockseer is his last name, yeah.
Okay.
Rockseer of the Rockseer brothers. There's 3 of them.
Okay. Alright. I say, well, I suppose we could search for his corpse. Yes. We'll give you a cookie. You two should lead the way. I'll take the back.
Okay.
Yes, the orange pitchfork.
So, the masked man pulls his axe out and begins marching. What's the rest of the following order? Or the order? Marching order.
Who was first?
Masked man is taking the lead and is going first.
I'll go second.
Okay.
I don't trust anyone to be walking behind me, so yeah.
Okay.
I'd rather have the targets in front of me.
It's easier to hit them with a cone of fire that way, right?
No, yeah, every now and then I'll be throwing rocks at the big guy. Just tiny pebbles. Clinging off his armor. Ting! He's watching him turn.
Okay, so the masked man is walking along. He's swinging his kind of axe. It's sitting on his shoulder, and he's clearly excited for the combat that's about to come. And he's marching along, and about 10 minutes after he's going, you just see him walk, and then all of a sudden drop. Like, gone.
Like, into a hole?
Into a hole.
Okay, just kind of walk up and look down the hole. Do we see anything?
You see at the bottom, kind of almost face planted in the pit. Actually, let's see how this looks. He does get a save.
I say, watch where you're going. I could have fallen into that hole.
Just 1 second. I gotta see if he actually fell in. Oh, he does save.
What?
So
Did he catch the edge?
He starts to go down, and yeah, you see him disappear. And as you get closer and you get to the edge, you realize that he's got one hand and is holding on, like hanging.
I just look down. You're awful good at finding traps.
You see him you see the axe.
At
come
least
up.
you have a purpose.
You see the axe come up in the one hand and hit the top, and then you just see him pull himself up.
Is there any spikes in the bottom if we peer down in the thing, or?
There wasn't. It looks like it was just a kind of like to help the goblins get away. Yeah, it's a pitfall to help the goblins get away. Yeah.
I hate those stupid scorpions at the bottom of the pitfall.
We're going to take this time. You successfully finish the goblin ambush, and you each get 75 XP.
Oh, epic.
Cool.
So much XP. Awesome.
Okay. So you guys continue down.
Set up. So hang on. Alright, I better track that. 75. Done. Okay. You may continue.
You continue down this path, and eventually you come across a large cave in the hillside. It took you probably, I don't know, a good couple hours. You would judge it to be
What time
about,
of day is it? Yeah, sorry, you're probably getting there.
No, it's okay. It's probably getting to be just before dinner time. You reckon you've been walking for about 5 miles from where you were ambushed. Out of this cave, a small, shallow stream flows. And then on the far side, so you're approaching from, we're going to say, the west side. And you see this... Yeah, you see this stream coming out of this cave, and on the other side, the east bank, it's full of dense forest again. And
do we have this represented on Roll20? No, eh?
No, I don't have a picture for that one.
Okay.
We're going to have to go with Theater of the Imagination. So ask lots of questions. So this large cave, there's water coming out of it. On the
what kind of
opposite side
stone
of
is the cave made out of?
It's made of a gray quartz material. It's been eroded in some spots by the water. And you notice on the far side, the far bank, it's not really that far, it's just the opposite bank, there's a trail that goes into the cave.
Do we notice any tracks or dragging marks?
The tracks, roll me a survival to see if you can keep... No. You have no idea what happened. You're not even 100% sure you're on the same path, but seeing the cave, it clearly looks like if you were going to make a hideout, that's where you would make it. But as far as whether or not that's where the tracks went, you've lost the path a little while ago.
If I had to guess, I'd say the cave is probably our destination.
Yeah, but what happened to the tracks with Gundren and Sildar?
I told you the goblins probably ate him. They got hungry.
How close to the stream do you get?
I don't know.
Far enough away to avoid the giant octopus.
Okay, no problem. Check.
So we have a stream, and on the other side of the stream is a cave.
The stream comes out of the cave. Okay, let me...
Okay. So
No, cave,
we're on
not
one
cave.
side of the bank then.
Yeah. I'll draw it.
So the stream leads into a cave,
Yeah.
basically?
What side are you picturing us on?
You were on the,
The right or the left?
the west side. So picture
West
the
side,
west
which would
side.
be...
Okay, let me draw it. I'll draw it for you.
Are you drawing it? Alright, cool.
No,
Represent.
this is not working. Oops. Oh, son of a bitch. Hit back on my keyboard. There we go. Okay, you guys seeing that?
Yep.
Okay, so you guys came up from this direction. That makes sense?
Yep.
So how far or how close did you get? This is like a trail that you see
I
going
was
into
looking
the
for
cave.
tracks, so I'm probably around here.
Okay.
I'll be following behind and so on.
Okay. Did you have any other conversation when you get there, or what else?
Just the one about where's Gundren.
The tracks, yeah.
Okay. So as you get that close, you realize on the other side of the thicket, this dense forest, it appears you almost see what appears to be an opening. This is all dense thicket. But you do notice there's something off in kind of this area that I'm pinging.
What? Ping that again.
The pathway behind the rock face.
Yeah, like the
How
thicket.
deep's the water?
So is this another cave entrance?
2 feet. No, like there's
I'm
forest. Like this is a thicket. The green. It's really dark green. I probably should have used.
So this is a break. This area is a break between the forest and the rock face.
Yeah, right there. You notice there's like the thicket's been flattened out by like wooden planks and stuff. Like somebody's made like a kind of a watch post almost.
Okay.
And then as you stare closer, like your eyes, you sort of make out. You're like, hey, is that a goblin? And then
Gotcha.
it moves, and it's clearly a goblin. It appears to be the top of the goblin's head.
I sigh.
Had the goblins not been completely lazy, they would be watching, but it appears this one has fallen asleep. What do you do?
Can we quietly get over there and murder?
I'll say, Mr. Sneaky Feet, why don't you go and have a look and see exactly what we're dealing with? We'll wait here.
Yeah, very well, Potter.
It's hotter.
Oh, right. Sorry. I get you confused with that boy.
Maldivort? A trifle.
Okay, so you heading to get closer to them?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and stealthily up there.
Okay, you make it through the stream. It's about 2 feet deep, so it comes right up to your midsection.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it's fairly noisy, the water. Like, they can't discern like, your splashing from, like, the regular sound.
Okay.
Are you rolling stealth?
I guess I have to, right?
Yep. Okay, you're fine. So you get closer, you realize there's one, like, sleeping kind of on his back with his head out this kind of lookout. And then you do catch a glimpse of another one close by to him. Doesn't appear to have noticed you yet.
Are they both sleeping?
This other one's not sleeping, but he's not paying attention. Like there appears to be some sort of like, almost like a camp area on the other side of
Okay.
the thicket in the little clearing, and he's kind of just futzing around there.
Okay,
What
so
do
can I
you do?
make my way back to
Yep.
Flopper there? So I go back.
Okay. Make it back without incident. What do you do? The masked man's like,
It looks like there's a bit of a camp. I can't make out much. I'm whispering this. Looks like one is sleeping. One is clearly on guard. I think we could take them, but we'd have to do it quietly. Parry, your robes, they might not fare so well in the water.
What are you suggesting?
Well, can you float?
We've been walking for miles. Does it look like I can float?
I don't know what tricks you have up your sleeve.
Floating isn't one of them.
Well, let's go then.
and the masked man just
How many
heads off.
goblins were there?
I told you two.
Can we see them from here?
You
Where
saw
are we
one of
located
them.
where are we located in relevance
You're
to the
kind
map?
of horrible X's I drew.
Okay, hang on a sec. Where's the
You're-
goblin situated?
You're here.
We said we can see it. Is this
The
to
one-
scale?
Yeah, the one you can see is kind of right about here. The other one's
It's
back.
important if it were to scale.
Yeah. You tell me.
Ray of Frost.
So you're shooting the head of the one that's sticking out, okay? So Ray of Frost. During your recovery, you got one of your spell uses
Sweet.
back. Just so you know, once per day you
Yeah.
can get half rounded up your wizard level back.
Okay.
Okay, so you shoot that. What does that do?
Ray of Frost. Frigid beam of blue-white light streaks towards a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack against the target. On a hit, it takes 1d8 cold damage and speed reduced by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. So I don't know what I need to roll for a ranged spell attack. Unfortunately. If anyone knows here for the 5th edition in chat and wants to paste it while we look it up. Or if it's just a standard roll. Let me see here. Sorry, my system's super slow. Ranged spell attack. I'm searching.
Proficiency plus your ability modifier.
So
You have a-
proficiency would be
2 plus your int based, right? And now most spells require attack
Plus
throws. Most spells that require attack rolls involve ranged attacks. Remember that you have a disadvantage on ranged attacks when you're within 5 feet of hostile creatures. Okay, so d20 plus, in your case, it will be 5. Oh, that is definitely a hit. For 5. Okay, so can you describe what this looks like? It's not enough to kill him, though. But you definitely hit. Apparently super silent.
Oh, sorry, was I muted? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my description earlier. Yeah, I just do. He's talking about me floating, and I just get frustrated, and I'm like, here, I just fire the ray of frost out. Beam of white frozen light, searing across.
So you see it streak across the river and hit this goblin, and does it cause any effects other than the damage?
Well, it slows him down. Hang on a sec.
Okay. So the previously green goblin is now a slight tinge of blue.
Yeah, he probably looks more chilly than he did before.
Yeah, some icicles dripping off of his head. It clearly makes a bit of a sound, and he grunts actually when he gets hit by it. And this causes the other one to turn around. So roll initiative. Gobs.
Okay.
Dane.
Wow.
Looks like. What?
And Masked Man.
What was your D20 for?
Who?
He's
You
rolling
go.
enemies.
First one was
Oh.
Gobs, and then the second one was Masked Man.
Why didn't you roll Masked Man first? After I fire the beam, I take cover in shrubs
In the shrubbery,
to avoid arrows.
you can when it's your turn. So the the slightly frozen goblin kind of rolls over on his stomach and preps his crossbow.
Wasn't that not like our surprise round? We still have time to
You
move.
used your surprise round when you shot the cone.
Okay.
And then we rolled initiative to see everybody's reaction to that.
Okay.
Welcome back, Mr. David.
How's it going?
It's going good.
No, it's not.
No,
You're here right in time for combat.
That wasn't your. You rolled much better than that for your initiative.
Thank you.
The goblins. Okay, so the first one, the one that's lying on the ground that got hit by the cone of cold, it rolls over and preps his crossbow. Because he was partially out cold, that's all he can pull off in one turn. No pun intended with the out cold. The other one, he also was not paying attention. He's also not properly set up in the blinds to shoot through. So he ends up pulling his bow and positioning himself to get shots off, which moves him over here.
Our map is on Roll20 Strike in the event you're not already in there. Sorry, go ahead.
So you guys are in the red square, or near the red square. Dane, you're up.
Is there any cover here anywhere?
There's the thicket, but it appears to be pretty thick. You would not be able to move at your normal speed through it.
Can I hide somewhere in here?
No. Actually, you're in kind of an opening.
That's what I was asking. Okay.
There's some bushes near the entrance over here, but
Okay. So how does the move work again? It was like dash and run?
you may dash for your whole turn, and get double speed.
Can you jump 10 feet? You could jump across that river.
So
You're fairly strong, right? No, you're not.
No, not really. I'm average. I'd like to run and jump across the river using acrobatics.
Go for it. So you're gonna are you, dash with the acrobatics in the middle, or
Whatever gives me the best odds.
we're gonna say you're gonna dash across, but you have to pull off an acrobatics to actually get across to pull the jump. Otherwise, you're gonna lose 10 feet off your dash if you fail the acrobatics.
I'm almost kind of hoping you're gonna fall into the water.
Sploosh.
So the dwarf
It's gonna be
starts
really
off
awesome or
charging.
not.
He's heading towards, and he gets to the edge, makes the jump. That's a success. He leaps in the air, flies across, lands on the other side. How close could you get?
I got a 25 feet move speed, so
You
I
can
don't
move
really
50.
know. Yeah.
You can dash up to 50. So you can get right up to their faces.
I hope he's not within my line of sight for his sake.
I wasn't intending on it though. I was gonna try and get over here, like to around the corner
Yeah,
to
no
hide
problem.
against the wall.
It's thick, but it might as well be a wall. Yeah. It definitely can't be shot through.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so you nailed that. You just see him. It wasn't particularly graceful, but he made it. He made the jump. That's your turn. So that leaves the masked man.
Your landing wasn't great, but it worked.
Yeah, you got an 8 from the Russian judge.
Yeah. It looked like
Actually,
I've
that's
done
pretty high.
this
You got a
before.
5.
What's this?
Looks
is
like
a
you looks
path.
like you had done it before more gracefully.
A narrow path
Right,
leading into
but
the
it
cave.
just looks like I've done this before. Like it ain't no. It wasn't amazing. It just looked like a random act.
This red thing, what is that?
It's just a narrow path leading into the cave beside the stream.
This is a cave.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a narrow path. That's a stream.
Yep.
We're here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There's bad stuff here, and this is a bunch of dense underbrush.
Yep.
And what time of day is it? Do we have torches?
It is just before dinner time.
So no torches yet. Is there a fire?
There's no fires.
There is no fires currently. Okay. Well, that just hurts that plan.
I ray of frosted one of them.
Yeah, these two were busy arguing about how to attack, and he just reached out his hand and shot.
I'm gonna try something similar to what the dwarf did, but I'm gonna go for the narrower section of the river and try to get on this side of them.
You don't need to do an acrobatics to get over it. You can actually power through it.
Okay. Attack of opportunity is gonna pass, so they'll get one swing at me.
Does he like tread the water?
You're passing? What do you mean you're passing?
I'm gonna. Well, you know what? I'm gonna stop here.
Okay.
So I didn't actually cross through. I'm entering that square to do combat, so there shouldn't be any problem.
Right. You're entering into combat with them. Okay.
So wham! I'm just
Okay.
axe out, going for it.
So you're right there. Perfect. Okay. Parry, what would you like to do? So we hear from the
another-
masked man. "Ah!"
Another ray of frost. Same guy.
Okay. That, sir, is a miss. So you hit the thicket, and you see it freeze and bits of it crack and fall down, but the goblin is unaffected.
Awesome.
Goblins are up next. So the one that is now engaged pulls out his scimitar and goes after the masked man. Misses. The other guy's lost. He can't actually get line of sight on the rogue, so he's going to fire at the wizard. and miss. A black feathered arrow sails past your head, Parry. From the one that you cone of colded.
Right. You'll have to
Dane.
do better than that. Welp.
Mr. Dane, what do you do?
I want to sneak up. Can I stealth towards these guys? Or is that not possible?
You may stealth through the underbrush, but I'm going to say it's half movement speed. Because it's so thick. If you go right through the thicket.
Oh, so I could probably make it to the square next to them?
Yeah, you could. You might not be able to get to him this turn, but next turn probably, yeah. What's your movement? 25? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't quite get there this turn.
I'd be right there, wouldn't I?
Half of 25, 10, 12? Yeah, I'll give it to you. And you want to sneak? Let's firstly succeed on your stealth.
Sorry, you want my stealth?
Yeah. See if you actually... No.
Nope.
No.
Doesn't happen.
You see the dwarf dive into the trees or the brush and make large, loud sounds. Brush is kind of moving all around. Are you still continuing, or?
Probably. I didn't realize how thick it was. I'd just probably try and make it out of the brush.
Okay, so you see him dive in, and you can clearly see where he is, because wherever he is, like, the brush is moving, like, perfectly in sync with him. And then you see him pop out. Would you like to do anything else?
How far did they make it? Nowhere?
Oh, you back where you started, unless you went out a different direction.
Okay.
Not far, though.
How many actions do I have left? Just a move, right?
I think you have what's left of your move, yeah. We'll say you used up half of it.
You can move and attack in the same round, right?
Normally you could, but you ran out of
can't,
stuff to
but
do.
You normally can. Okay. Then I'll just move up like a couple feet.
Okay.
Like to there.
Alongside the brush?
Yeah.
Okay. Masked man. Would you like to decapitate a goblin?
I would love to.
Please roll. That'll do. Damage.
Yeah. That feels good.
Describe the blow. He's dead.
I get over there. I've got the axe out in one hand. And muffled screaming at him that he can't possibly understand. He swung at me last. I take it to both hands and come down. I want to sever his head in twine.
Done. The goblin, you go right through to the ground, yeah.
The next thing I would like to do is add a muffled
You're next.
as I look at his buddy.
His buddy is just bathed in like a sea of blood, like kind of a little bit shocked. Parry, what would you like to do? You have cantrips that are offensive.
Ray of Frost
don't you?
again.
Or is that what you're using?
That's the Ray of Frost or cantrips.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if that is affecting the ability if I'm rolling that properly with my 20. I guess it doesn't matter, right?
What do you mean with your 20?
Because it's a cantrip. The modifier I get for my...
Oh, ranged is D20 plus your intellect bonus, so it's...
Okay, so it wasn't based on like spell level or anything.
No.
Okay. There we go.
Bam. That's a critical, double damage. I'm assuming it affects spells, and that's what we're gonna say. I'll stealing it right now for spells. ×2. He's dead. Would you like to describe
Nice.
the final blow?
Yeah. He was covered with blood. The ray of frost like cascaded, like it froze the blood around him, and then he just like exploded and shattered.
Nice. So, masked man, you're covered in frozen, or like you're hit with like frozen goblin shards. They don't do any damage, but they bounce off you. If they weren't frozen, you'd be a little disgusted.
It's like
Is that all
icicles,
of the bad?
icicles tinkling off his armor.
Yeah.
Clink, 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 clink.
You're a little upset that you might have gotten dirty.
Oh, I'm good. Is the fight part over?
Yeah, you're out of combat.
I'm going to take the 2 pieces of the goblin that I split and tie him by the ankles in a tree.
Okay. With what are you tying it?
His intestine.
Okay.
Liza, dear Liza.
Have you done this before? Is this a regular thing with the masked man?
Yes, this is a regular thing.
So, what part of it's regular? The disembowelment or the stringing up?
The stringing up, the disembowelment. Usually I use rope and leave the intestines hanging over their faces, but this time I don't have rope, so I'm going to use the intestine itself.
Okay. Now,
It's kind of something I just do.
it's something you do and you're known for it. Like, what is the local lore around? Like, so when you've killed somebody or killed, I don't know if you do it for the good or the bad, but like, is there myth that you were here and that's what happens to people who cross you?
Basically, it's calling card, yeah.
Is the myth good or bad around you?
As far as that's concerned,
Are you Robin
seems
Hood,
to be
or
totally
are you-
random.
Okay.
One week it's a local crime ward. The next week it's the guy in the alley that hadn't showered in a while, and then it's little Timmy. It just depends.
Do people like fear you for this, or are you a scoundrel, or what are you?
A bit, I suppose.
Would authorities be upset with you if they ran into you?
Possibly. They'd probably want to ask about it. But,
Probably what?
it depends. It depends on how many of them there are present. On whether or not they'd want to talk to me about this.
Okay. So have you ever been known to hurt like the not the nobility, but the is it just like undesirables that tend to be the victims of your stuff? No?
Usually it's whoever messes with me. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I got
And
what
it
you
varies. Some of them are hanging from their bedroom. Some of them are hanging in town. It just depends on when I find the opportune moment to strike.
Okay. Okay. So now you find yourself, you're in a pool of blood sprinkled with frost shards of blood. There's a rather well-built dwarf hiding slightly around the thicket, and the wizard pew-pewing frost. Your enemies are dead.
And defiled.
What do you do next? Actually, before we find out what you do next, let's take a quick break. And we will be back in a bit. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that fun stuff. And we will be back in a bit.